This is the DEFCON Warning System's Strategic Threats and Global Stability Briefing. Today is June 30th, 2025. Current condition is green DEFCON 5. There are currently no imminent nuclear threats at this time. On June 22nd, the United States conducted Operation Midnight Hammer, striking Iran's Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan nuclear sites with GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators and submarine-launched Tomahawks. US President Trump claimed the sites were completely obliterated, with Natanz destroyed and major damage at Fordow and Esfahan. However, new analysis paints a more nuanced picture. A leaked Defense Intelligence Agency report deemed low confidence concluded the facilities were damaged but not destroyed, and that Iran's program is likely delayed by only a few months, not years. One unnamed US source observed entrances caved in and infrastructure hit, but underground buildings remained largely intact, with centrifuges possibly surviving. UPI and Reuters also affirmed this assessment, noting core components damaged but not destroyed. The International Atomic Energy Agency's director, General Rafael Grossi, speaking to CBS News, echoed this view. The damage was severe but not total, and Iran could resume uranium enrichment within months. He stressed the IAEA remains barred from inspections, leaving open the question of material location and structural integrity. Adding to the confusion, Israel asserts Fordow has been rendered inoperable, and the IAEA notes the facility is no longer operational, as per their available imagery, but acknowledges the lack of on-the-ground confirmation. Meanwhile, satellite images show Iran is already rebuilding at Fordow. Despite claims of obliteration, Iran's nuclear program may be delayed months, not dismantled. But in the absence of on-site verification, the true extent of the damage remains uncertain. In response to the strikes, Iran has commenced immediate excavation and reconstruction at its damaged nuclear sites. Excavators and heavy machinery have been spotted at Fordow, digging out collapsed facility entrances and power conduits. At Esfahan, satellite imagery reveals intensive repair work at areas struck on June 13th and 22, specifically the uranium conversion unit and fuel fabrication buildings. These repair works suggest Iran aims to restore its enrichment capacity as swiftly as possible. Given the reported months-long delay, renewed cascading of centrifuges to resume enrichment could begin as early as late summer. The IAEA, already limited by not having in-country access, has been further blocked. This week, Iran issued a ban on all IAEA inspectors. Without their presence, transparency into Iran's repair pace, stockpile status, or unintended proliferation risks is effectively non-existent. Grossi warned that without the IAEA on site, it's impossible to determine where enriched uranium was moved, or if more material exists undisclosed. This ramped-up opacity poses a serious threat to non-proliferation monitoring. With no inspectors and no clarity on damaged or moved material, global trust mechanisms are collapsing. That's a critical escalation. Concurrent with Reconstruction, Iranian officials have taken a defiant stance. They have declared they will never stop uranium enrichment, describing their adherence to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty as shifting, and saying treaty commitments are now subject to Tehran's discretion. Crucially, they've stated no negotiations are planned regarding their nuclear program. Such public rhetoric suggests Iran is abandoning its previous posture of NPT compliance and dialogue. Combined with the IAEA ban and rapid repair drive, these statements signal a strategic pivot. Iran seems determined to proceed unilaterally in pursuit of nuclear advancement. Taken together, these developments foreshadow a scenario where Iran moves outward from treaty structures and diplomatic norms, heightening the global nuclear instability threshold. Shifting focus to South Asia. US intelligence now concludes Pakistan is developing an intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, capable of reaching the continental United States. Historically, Pakistan's strategic missile programs, like the Shaheen and Gari series, had maximum ranges of about 5,500 kilometers, primarily aimed at regional deterrence. An ICBM would mark a substantial expansion of Pakistan's strike capability, potentially enabling nuclear reach to North America. Officially, neither Islamabad nor Washington has commented in detail. Yet, analysts are already framing this as a strategic escalation. The potential motivations include asserting deterrence parity with India's broader nuclear posture, countering strategic competition from China, or messaging to the US to shift perceptions of Pakistan from ally to rival. From a global stability standpoint, an Indian-style nuclear triad stretching to the US dramatically reshapes deterrence logic. Washington may be compelled to reassess contingencies, missile defense deployments, and South Asian regional diplomacy. Finally, in The Hague this week, NATO leaders agreed to boost defense spending to 5% of GDP by 2035, with an interim floor of 3.5% dedicated to core military needs, like troops, operations, weapon systems, and 1.5% for broader security capabilities, cyber, infrastructure resilience, supply chains. This is a historic leap from the previous 2% guideline established in 2014. The US, under Trump's leadership, spearheaded the push, calling it a transformational leap. Polls indicate Eastern European members, like Poland and Baltic states, strongly support the move, though reservations linger in Germany, Italy, Belgium, and Spain. The declaration mandates national roadmaps due mid-2026, with a formal review in 2029. Economists warn the collective increase could inject hundreds of billions into defense budgets, potentially surpassing $1 trillion when including cyber and infrastructure investments. This signals a global recalibration. NATO is gearing up for peer-on-peer deterrence against Russia, China, hybrid threats. National defense planners must now pivot towards sustained, long-term capability expansion. The DEFCON Warning System is a private intelligence organization that has monitored nuclear threats and strategic conditions since 1984. It is not affiliated with any government or military agency, and its alerts do not represent the official alert status of any nation. The public is encouraged to perform independent evaluations and should not rely solely on the DEFCON Warning System for strategic or emergency planning. In the event of a nuclear exchange, the system will publish radiation readings from reported areas. These readings may differ from local measurements. Official sources will also issue regional data and safety instructions. This concludes this update of the DEFCON Warning System.